Hi, this is Terry Farrell, Dax from Deep Space Nine, and welcome to Random Trek.
Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Random Trek. I am your fearless captain, Christopher Ingle, joined as always by my first officer, a man who has gotten lost in the mycelial network on more than one occasion, Commander Brennan, the Mystical Mar. Brennan, you like mushrooms?
No, but I'm wondering where our evil mirror universe mustaches are.
Unless we are the evil mirror universe. You ever think of that? What if
Well,
we are
I
the
did
evil
turn into
mirror universe?
my I did turn into my alter ego last night, so
Wouldn't that be weird if we were our mirror universe and that there's like a better universe world out there that's opposite us?
that would be very strange indeed.
I think I need to write this. Copyright me. Anyway, yes. So season 1, episode 12 of Discovery, Vaulting Ambition. I loved the second half of the first season of this series. First of all, Mirror Universe is so much fun. And it was really great to actually go into the Mirror Universe and to go into greater detail about what happens in the Mirror Universe.
But nobody had any mirror universe mustaches. That was weird.
There was no mustaches. I'm not sure. Maybe they just weren't there in fashion yet.
True enough.
I don't know. But I really love this, and it gives me one of the first good reveals that I really love about this series. And of course, my man Captain Lorca. This episode is just so much fun. So let's get into it, and we'll break down some of these elements.
Yes, I should have the chance to meet Jason Isaacs later this year.
Yes, we got to. Yes, Random Trek. I love it. Get him on one of the bumpers. Anyway, so Burnham, and remember, they're all in the Mirror Universe. Okay, Burnham and Lorca are summoned to the ISS Chiron, which is the Imperial flagship. Empress Giorgio sends Lorca to the Agony booth, which is torturous. We saw the Agony booth in the original series. And ends up having dinner with Michael Burnham, who, even in this universe, she treats like a daughter. Meanwhile, Stamets himself is in a coma of some kind while in the mycelial chamber, and he finds himself, his consciousness, inside the mycelial network with his mirror universe counterpart. We find out that Mir Stamets's experiments caused a corruption to occur within the mycelial network. While he's in there trying to figure out what happened and how to get back, he reviews some kind of representation of Culber. Remember, Culber died. Culber died earlier this season at the hands of Mr. Tyler, aka Vok. So he accepts his loss. Culber has accepted the loss, but right now Stamets is about ready to leave, but he hasn't woken up from the trance. He's kind of distracted by this. So what we discover is that the spore collection has been infected. The spores that they were growing have been infected. Meanwhile, Giorgio, in her conversations with Burnham, laments that she allowed Lorca to, in her view, manipulate Burnham, to become the father figure for Burnham, only for the two of them to fall in love together and plot to overthrow the Empress. Her plan is to execute Burnham for treason, but Burnham reveals that she is from another universe and tells her how they crossed over. Giorgio ends up trading the spore drive schematics for information on other ways to cross between the universes, which Burnham begins to realize that Lorca himself knew, the Lorca she knows is actually from the mirror universe and not from our universe, and has been manipulating events from the very beginning to get back to the mirror universe. And we end the episode with Lorca successfully getting out of the agony booth. Dun dun dun. This has, I mean, it is rare to me when the A plot and the B plot are both fascinating. And I want to start with the smaller, which is the B plot, because Stamets and Culber, my power couple for Star Trek right now. They are just so awesome together. I love them. There's true love there. But Stamets is willing to stay in the network. The longer he's in the network, the harder it will be for him to return. And he knows that in reality, Culber's dead. Culber is dead in the real world. He knows that. Here he gets to live with him and be with him, and just they get to be together, and he's willing to stay in that existence. It almost reminds me of the Robin Williams movie where he ended up going to hell.
Oh,
What dreams may come. Yeah,
yes.
What dreams may come. Where in the end, his wife was in purgatory, worse than purgatory, because she committed suicide, and she couldn't get herself out of it. She was trapped in her own sorrow and despair. Robin Williams was told he needs to leave. If he stays, he will forget everything as well and be trapped in this despair. He would rather stay there with her in despair than leave her alone. This felt a little bit like that, only the despair felt like Stamets. Stamets felt guilty for all the actions that had been going on. And Culber was okay with his death. I am dead. This is a fact. This is who I am. And yet, Stamets stayed.
Yeah.
How do we feel? I mean, obviously, this is just the first season, but is this not one of the best couples and relationship builders we've ever seen in Star Trek?
Definitely is up there, yes.
I can't think of a truer Star Trek relationship, even more than Riker and Deanna.
It's even more than the random Chakotay's with 7 of 9 now.
Oh, that was awful. That was awful. You know, Worf and Dax is great.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, Odo and
Kira.
Kira.
Yeah.
You know, will they, won't they, when will they, how will they? Nobody knows.
Tom and B'Elanna.
Yeah. Tom and B'Elanna. But there is struggle, there is strife, and there is a willingness to sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I love in these. And, you know, Stamets, we don't talk enough about Stamets. Stamets is played by the amazing Anthony Rapp. I think he was a Tony Award winner.
Yes, he's
I was like, is he a Tony winner?
Yeah, no, I don't know, but he's a stage actor. He was in Rent.
He never won he never won a Tony. But
he was in the original cast of Rent.
He was in the original cast of Rent. That is true, and still does theater today. But man, does he amaze me as an actor.
Yes.
He kills this every which way but loose.
And I forget the name of the actor who plays Culber, but he's excellent as well.
Culber? That is... Hold on. I gotta go find it.
I forget his name.
I'm gonna go find it. I'm gonna find you.
We're almost there.
This is what happens. Like,
you get what you pay for, folks.
Yes, this actually proves we prep ahead of time, but sometimes when we're talking characters are kind of going on tangents, we completely forget who is who.
Yes,
Culber. I want to know his name because he deserves it. Hugh Culber, played by Wilson Cruz.
Yes, Wilson Cruz. Yes.
He also and you know, Cruz really gets more as time goes along and more definition as an individual than just as a couple.
Yes, he absolutely does.
When we get into the 5th and final season, there is a lot of development for him. Actually, 4th and 5th season, I think there's a lot of great development for him
because reckoning with everything that's happened to him.
Yeah, and he takes on more than just being an MD. He becomes a counselor. He's,
Yep.
takes on more responsibility. And his ending, I won't call it an ending, but the last we see of him in the final season when he got the symbiote memories put into him was so good for him and clarifying and the things he was willing to do and the bravery is I
Well,
absolutely love this.
it's a good balance to Stamets because where Stamets is frantic and panicky and
A little bit manic.
kind of prissy too. Culber is the rock.
hmm
He stabilizes him.
Yes, he does. And so they fit well together, and I'm
And
so
I love
happy.
their parenthood of what is their name?
Which
Um
one? Oh, they're
they sort
adopted.
of adopt.
Oh, it was Hugh. No, I'm gonna
Um,
do this.
we did it again.
Tall.
Oh yeah,
Tall is
well,
the
I like
symbiote, but
that.
yeah,
I like that how they kind of adopt. Well, they kind of adopt Paul. It's very nice.
yes. There it is. Okay, now I can get it right.
Anyway,
This is what we do. Um, yeah, the symbiote, just the relationships that build and build and
yes,
build and build and build and
yes.
build. It's worth it. Adira, there it is.
Adira, Adira,
Adira Tall,
yay!
yes. And even yeah, it just goes on and on, but they become perfect for them.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Mm-hmm.
how that's another thing that's appropriate that we don't get to talk about later. How appropriate that our Trill and human bonding is a they. They prefer to go by they them,
Mm.
and they make a
Mm.
deal about that in the fourth season. I think it is the fourth season
It's true.
that
They
they
do.
are they them. But the actor is a they them as well,
Yes,
and I appreciate that so
indeed.
much.
So do I.
Gray, that's the other part, the gray.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great. Yeah.
things we learned. Anyway, we're getting off track, but the relationship, the parental units that we have here that we're developing in this relationship is awesome. They are the best Star Trek mom and dad, pardon the parlance, but they are. They are the best parents I've ever seen. And it comes from a strong relationship that has been built and tempered through fire. And they're stronger for it.
Yes. Exactly.
And this episode is a good place to show that. But that is not the main part of this episode. The main part is Burnham, Lorca, and Empress Giorgio.
Michelle Yeoh. Oh boy.
First of all, having to watch Burnham eat Kelpian. Whoa. How dark can Star Trek go?
And she gets to pick which Kelpian.
Good thing it wasn't Saru.
Yee.
That's the thing. Oh man, to go through that, and Giorgio knows Giorgio's going to send her to her death, and to play nice. She's sitting there playing nice. I loved you. I missed you. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, by the way, you're going to die. Wow.
Academy Award winner, Michelle Yeoh.
Absolutely. And then the reveal and how they dealt with the reveal of Lorca not being from our universe, which looking
Mm.
back on it, I should have saw it and I didn't.
Yeah.
And we get actually an interesting revelation in this too, that the main discernible difference besides temperament and history between ours and the mirror universe is that mirror universe Terrans are more sensitive to light,
Yeah.
which we've seen all season long with Lorca, and we didn't even realize it.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
This is so good. I cannot say enough about how good the relationships are and how the acting is. This episode is all about relationships because we get to see more about Giorgio and Burnham's relationship. Burnham can't escape the fact that she's treating Empress Giorgio in her own way as if she's Captain Giorgio. She can't let that go. She can't shake it. And Empress Giorgio is doing exactly what you would expect a mirror universe person to do. Listen, you're not with me, absolutely. You're gone, and you betrayed me. So bye. I love this development here. And this pays off later when, spoiler alert, Burnham saves Giorgio. When she does that, she saves her and brings her to the other universe. This sets off a whole chain of events, and we discover what kind of a person, what kind of relationship that they can have.
Including a very bad film, but we won't go there.
And I'm not the biggest fan of Kira's mirror universe counterpart. In fact, most of the DS9 crew, except Smiley, I like Smiley. I don't really, Smiley. I don't really care for their crew. The episodes are fine, but I don't really care for all of their alternates. It just it's the mustache twirling evil. It is what it is. Here, there's nuance. Here, there's depth in these characters. It's not just a matter of, oh, we're the exact opposite of you, like we got with the original series and with Next Generation, or with DS9. Here, there is love. Empress Giorgio does love Burnham like a daughter. The relationship building is fabulous. This episode is great. This gives it so much, and I would love to actually read the novelization of this whole event because this is so fascinating. What did you think? I'm kind of taking up all the time here.
Well, I mean, Michelle Yeoh chewing the scenery, as she does.
Yep.
Oh, wonderfully. The reveal of Lorca, I mean, that was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
We also, of course, get in the regular universe, we get Luck and Rail,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Oh, that's right.
about as twisted as you can get.
I forgot about that. That is going on as well. They're trying to help Tyler / Falk, and they can't do it, and so they have to rely on help from Laurel to stabilize him.
Yeah, it's a twisted relationship, I'll tell you.
I completely forgot that is another relationship, so it's kind of important. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely say this is all about relationships.
It is. It
Dark,
is a very relationship episode.
dark and twisted and weird and manipulated relationships. Even Culber and Stamets, and the idea that Stamets is willing to stay and be lost forever as long as he's with him. That's lovely, but it's still a little dark and twisted. This is so wonderful. Guys, watch the second half of this season. It's so good.
Yeah, the first half of season 1 is rough.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the second half's pretty good.
Yeah, really good. It's a recommendation for me.
Yep. Me too.
Absolutely. Yep.
Any Marion Words episode.
Oh yeah, this goes up there with it. All right, next week we go to Strange New Worlds, where we seek out new life and new civilizations.
Oh boy.
All right, let's hit the randomizer. Ooh. A dark one sandwiched between two really, really good ones. Season 2, episode 8, Under the Cloak of War. This is the one where the Klingon defector is aboard the Enterprise, and Mbenga, we discover Mbenga's past with Chapel, and the question of whether Mbenga committed murder or not. That'll be interesting. Yeah, this was the one that was in between Those Old Scientists and Subspace Rhapsody.
Oh my goodness.
This is the odd one in the entire series, the entire season. So I look forward to watching that one again, because that was a dark and good one. Yeah. Brendan, where can the people find you?
All right, you can find me on Blue Sky, Brendan Miranda, Blue Sky Social. And you can find me at Page Turners They Were Not on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
And you can find me on Twitch and Twitter, because I'll never call it X, at Ingle 1984. But as always, we end every episode. Qapla'! Live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.